Thank you for watching the Audio Bros podcast. For more episodes, please like, share, and subscribe.
Happy Friday, and let's get into some music.
Rip it. Let's go. Who are you listening to?
I kind of want to do, even though like I know Smitty just submitted this, but I had already pulled it up from it wasn't in the song submissions channel originally, but I do want to pick Smitty's brain on this because he's been doing something really cool and like basically taking, you know, somebody's random YouTube video that's just like an acoustic version of something and putting all the other pieces around it, you know, no click, no nothing, and turning it into a full-blown production. And I love it. I love it. So this is Mr. Smith and Gray Smith, Pen Lid. Smitty. I like the stealth collab. I'm reading his note says, looks like I'm a little late to the party here. What a lovely surprise to log in and find. Mr. Smith, nice job.
What do we need to do to get that remixed?
So he had no idea. And and then all of a sudden found it. That's
a good
awesome,
song.
dude.
That's a good song. That's a really
And that's
good
such a. I'm sure that was a pain in the butt too, like not having a click to line things up, like just playing off a feel off of a YouTube video. That's pretty epic, Smitty.
Yeah,
like
Smitty.
well done. Well done. Did you?
I saw the
ever
premiere on that? That was really. I was blown away.
Did you ever like link up with him, Smitty? Outside of just like the comments in the YouTube? I'm curious. It's a good song.
Yeah. And it's all acoustic. That's like 90s style, but like way better because it's got the rock style staccato where you need it. You know, reminded me of a band called Supersonic. They were out of Minneapolis years ago. Remember seeing them in like 99 at First Avenue.
Isn't that Closing Time band?
Yeah, Closing Time. That was their big hit.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, they were so huge. Like
nice.
That whole scene was just, man, right? Oh,
Smitty said, yeah, they linked up and on SoundCloud and we'll do more. That's awesome to hear, man.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you said you found a plugin the other day. Or this, you posted that in Valhalla. That was the, what does that thing actually do?
It just creates transitions.
So is it like do auto?
I'm releasing a plugin today. I believe.
So basically the gist of it is like normally if you were designing like a transition with a bunch of like LFOs or any other effects, you'd have those effects like all individually different and then you'd have to automate everything. This allows you to add all of your effects in there and modulate them with one automation knob. So like pick your flavor and then you use one knob to control it all. I bought it just because I was like, I'm going to mess around with this.
Yeah, mess around with that. I'm curious to see what we could do because I'm still mixing some other projects. And if that works out, if you think it's pretty good, I might actually pick it up and put that.
Yeah. I mean, you should watch the video on it. It's like you can control the individual parameters within each effect, and then your transition control is what like moves all of them together, right?
Got it.
Depending
you can
upon
pick and choose which ones to move, and you can automate that too, I suppose.
Yeah, like but with one knob, right? So you choose the direction that you want it to go, like
more or less
for each effect, and then do it with one knob. So your automation lane for all of these effects would just be one.
Just one. That's killer. That's a good idea.
Like tremendous idea, for sure.
No, Smitty. Yes, when you get the stems, let me know. We'll put the sauce on there, and I would love to have an opportunity to work with you on that.
I'm gonna go to this guy came into the Discord last week, like after the stream. It's hard to tell if it was a troll or not. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Terry Hesticles, the one that joined the Discord.
We're gonna snip that one out.
Well, this is what he posted in the song submission.
Terry Hesticles, that's his name.
Yeah, it was in the song submissions. Go look at it. This is
my God.
Planet of the Slaves.
Here we go.
rocks and call it progress. Save all the profit for those at the top and remove any resistance. This world you've made is fake to justify mistakes, defined by what you take, until you've been erased. Better submit to who's in charge, or let your family starve. Lose your hand making a shoe. Takes one day to replace you. Takes one day to erase you. To erase Shining city on the hill, listening as they prep for the kill. Think it can go on forever? How can this go on forever? Every dollar made, every price that is paid, we're racing towards the edge. The debt that you owe on everything you own will be repaid with revenge. Thinking that it makes laws. Fake money they brought to rule them all. Thinking how you make laws. Fake money they brought controls them all. Thinking how you make laws. Fake money they brought to rule them all.
All right. All right.
That was great.
Terry Hesticles for the win. I honestly don't know where he came from. He just popped into the Discord and put that in the song submissions. It was after the stream. I honestly was not expecting that from a name
See,
like
those are
Terry
the kinds of
Hesticles.
subs I love. They're the stealthy, popping a dirty track right there, and it's good. And you just sort of stumble upon it. And it's like, that's the stuff I like. A couple of things on that one.
By the way, Ryan, it was 4 minutes and 46 seconds.
It was perfect length. It's perfect. I mean, the Egyptian scale that you used, or what do they call it? The Phrygian scale that you used there. I've heard that a million times. Man, if you could just find another way to do that doesn't sound like something I've seen in every, whatever Prince of Arabia type movie, Lawrence of Arabia. That's the immediate image that came to my head. Was like, oh, I've heard that in Lawrence of Arabia for sure. Because it's so overused. But I thought it was tasteful though. Everything was good. The lyrics at first were kind of like, all right, here we go, COVID core, government stuff, and then you did it in a way that was like, oh, this is catchy and it's good. Very rare to do that kind of subject matter and for it to be good. So my hat's off to you on that. The mix is a little flat, which I think is probably standard for like that mid 90s, late 90s rock, early 2000s new metal type vibe. But you had a killer solo in there. And I got to tell you, it wasn't, and yeah, like the tropes. Yeah, Ryan, the tropes. The solo was great. You did tasteful tapping in different, and you didn't use a Phrygian scale. I don't know exactly the scale you used, but it wasn't Phrygian. It was melodic and it was very tasteful. So my hat's off to you. What a great track. Thank you so much for sharing that. And join us in the Discord. I want to talk with you a little bit and see what you're up to. And if you got more stuff, send it in, dude. I want to hear it.
Mr. Smith said, I bet I know who that is. So I'm curious, Smitty. Give us the insight. Yeah, there's some tropes in there. I think my thing is like, I think the mix could use a little leveling. Like there's some certain parts that kind of need balance a little bit. I would change the guitar tone personally and just make it a little bit different. But overall the bones are there, and like I enjoyed listening to that. I just like it like full on, like hitting you harder from the guitars to the drums to the I mean, could be a renovation candidate. I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on if Terry Hesticles is around in the Discord. So we'll find out. Who knows? But again, thank you for submitting.
Yeah, man.
To.
I heard that last song. That last song was kind of cool.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it is a bit long, but I think overall, like there was some high points in it for sure. Who submitted that?
Terry Hesticles.
Terry Hesticles.
Smitty knows who it is, but we don't.
His name is Terry
Hesticles.
When I see a name like that, I immediately don't trust it.
I thought it was another troll. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be another troll.
I thought so too, but
might as well just said the FBI has entered the chat.
I dug it.
Who is it? Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
It's a candidate for a renovation, so if Terry Hesticles wants to get in touch with us.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, Terry.
Hesticles. Where are you, Terry?
In Reaper, I figured out how to get the vocal alignment thing going.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm like, oh, this is going to ruin everything because now I'm gritting the vocal.
Yeah. I'm probably going to do a video because this came up in, I don't know if it's one of these tracks. It might have been in Reaper specifically, how you can make life a lot easier when you're dealing with multiple edits not on the grid. So like when you're editing guitars, if you have multiple tracks that you're trying to align and like make cuts to, and you want have them all shift a certain way, but they're not on the grid and they're different. Mm-hmm. Got a little trick that helps you do that. So I'll probably put together a video on that.
Not a bad idea, dude.
I do. Mm-hmm. I really love that Abomination track. That's funny because it was on the back burner.
It was on the back burner for nearly 6 months.
Yeah.
And what happened was that I was basically like, I'm going to revisit this. I've got a lull. I can maybe, if I don't come up with something cool this time, then I'm just going to be like, hey, Eric, this isn't it. We just need to scrap it or find somebody else to do it. And then I had been listening to, on complete accident, nothing but 90s Aerosmith, like early 90s Aerosmith. And for whatever reason, I just got in the pocket and it just worked. And I don't know why. It just hit me. And it turned out much cooler than I ever thought it could, because that that riff, those two riffs together are so bone-headed and should never be a thing.
Never. Should never. No.
It's an abomination.
It-
It truly is. It's so god awful.
we had that conversation of like, what should we title this? Like,
Yeah.
and I think the working title was the best, the most fitting.
Sometimes the working title fits the best, and I don't like. I don't know. Sometimes I'll name stuff. I remember like early Transylvania Stud. I named stuff like Monkey Tree Box and like Moto Generator, just like dumb stuff. And now I try and do working titles, kind of like how does the song make me feel? Because maybe I'll just end up keeping the title of it, and it'll just end up working out. It's like 50-50 right now, but you know, you don't. I don't want to get too far down the artist rabbit hole. I'm not an artist. This is a trade.
What's funny is, so my parents saved like early violin books that I had.
Why?
I don't know. But there's like Suzuki violin books that I had that I put notes on, and it was like, the song reminds me of a pig or green or random stuff like that. Totally like random. Because I never learned how to read music. I just played everything by ear for 9 years. So
I do feel like I kind of goofed on like not at least giving it a go, because I tried once and I had a really bad guitar teacher my first go around, and he basically told my dad, this is when I was probably 11 or 12 when I first started like trying to learn how to play guitar. After I had already been playing guitar for a while, I had learned power chords and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And the guitar teacher, like after lesson 3, came up to my dad and he was like, Mr. Godfrey, I'm sorry, I can't take your money anymore. He just doesn't have it. That pissed me off so bad that I learned how to play guitar after I'd already learned how to play drums, and then I learned how to play bass, and then I taught myself a little bit of piano just to put the icing on the cake. Don't ever let anyone tell you
You can't do it.
I'm sorry, he just doesn't have it.
Just don't have it, bud.
Sometimes that's the best motivator, is somebody doubting you, because it gets that primal instinct of, oh yeah, it's that competitive edge you need to actually go do something.
Yeah, I mean, it can't always be positivity. Sometimes you need a little friction. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need a little resistance. Sometimes you need someone telling you like, hey man, you're not that good. You're not doing well. You're not doing whatever. And for some people, it doesn't always work. Some people work great under positive reinforcement. I do not. I like to prove you wrong. And so it worked for me. And it was,
there you go.
It was probably the most motivating thing, because I don't ever think that I ever saw that guy again until I was probably, I don't know, 20. So it was probably 8-9 years. And I walked in to the guitar shop, and he just happened to be like selling an amp that I wanted. And it was like a local guitar shop. And I told him like, hey, I'm going to buy this. And the guy was like, I know you. I was like, yeah, you used to be my guitar teacher. I told my dad I didn't have it. Well, you were wrong. I just got off tour.
I had a similar
Felt good.
experience. Like I kind of taught myself how to play just by ear, and then I was like, well, I should probably take guitar lessons. So I had my parents sign me up for guitar lessons, and walked in, and the guy wanted to teach me like Mary Had a Little Lamb and shit.
Every time.
I was
Every
like,
time.
this is a waste of my time. So I never went back.
Listen to all the guitar teachers out there. Quick tip. Okay. Ask the guy that's taking lessons from you, guy, girl, what do you want to learn?
Yeah.
Because I ended up teaching lessons for a little while with kids that wanted to learn how to play guitar. And I would ask them like, is there a song you want to learn how to play? Okay, well, let's try that. And I'll show you how to do it. I'll just, show them a simple way to play it, but the notes will be right. And usually it was like Seven Nation Army, that's fine. And it ended up working out anyway, because it's a really easy song, and it's, one string. So like, I don't know. I don't know. I never understood this weird, and I think it came from like a school of like they wanted to be taken seriously, so they thought that like teaching it like a class at school made it more serious and made them more of a like, well, I'm a guitar teacher. This is just as prestigious as taking violin lessons or anything else. And really, most people want to how to play guitar to play the most annoying, like piss your parents off music you can. They don't want to learn how to play the classics.
So Danny's working on mixing the LP, I guess.
Nice.
The regs are here. I see. So that's nice.
Regulars.
It's good to see the regs.
Sean says, "Me mastering now." Ah, nice, nice. All right. The false light. Let's go. All right, Danny. Nick said it, and I'm in agreement. Sounds much more aggressive with whatever you did to this. And I think part of that is you've got the dominant guitar part, like more dominant. And it was especially noticeable here. Because in that part right there, like I can hear it very buried, where the like the accented guitar parts that you had in there. Overall, I prefer this mix just because it's just more aggressive. So good job. I don't know if you guys have any feedback. Oh, one other thing.
Great.
One other thing. I don't know. When I first heard that, like, I don't know. I want a more of an impact on the re-entry, if that makes sense. Something to accent the re-entry there, but that's nitpicking.
Sub or something.
Yeah, something to just drive it home. But yeah, stank face all around.
Play it again. Play that same section.
This thing. Yeah. You know,
I can tell you. So go back to that part again, right where the band is. All right.
You're on mute.
The drums need to be simplified. You go right back into that kind of like chaotic beat. It needs to go just 4 bars. Just 4 bars of it. And then go back into that chaotic beat. Same guitar, same everything. Just the rhythm, just the dynamics of that rhythm need to go. They need to break apart. The one thing that is very common with a lot of your tunes is that you weave these like everything is basically like as it should be. The only break that I never get in your songs that I'm waiting on, that I need, the drums. The drums they don't sound, obviously they have dynamics just inherently because of how well you're mixing things and what you're doing like in the movements and stuff. But there never seems to be a dynamic break anywhere to give you a rest from the chaos that is the drums, because the drums are always very busy in your stuff. Which is, again, by product of the type of music that you're making. There just needs to be parts. Usually, most, in my opinion, you would pick the chorus to really open things up and simplify the drums. That would be my only feedback. Because, I mean, obviously, the mix to me, it sounds like, I mean, it's on par with pretty much any metal stuff that I've been hearing coming out. So, like, production-wise, like, it sounds great. I just think that dynamically it would serve your songs better to be able to give people a break from all the chaotic riffage and the very aggressive nature of his voice to just go boom, doom, ga, doom, doom, ga, do, do, doom, doom, ga, in any sort of chorus that you have going on. And what you would do, you would keep the same rhythm, you would keep the same timing. You would just cut back on the hits for the kick and the snare. You would just kind of pull out what you don't need and just keep everything you do need. A 2 and a 4 on the, you know what I'm saying? Like something very, very basic and very open on like a big crash instead of, you know, like a all the time. That'd be my only thing. Otherwise, rules, dude. Always rules. Always.
Chuck? Any insights?
Yeah, I think you're like 99.99% there, dude.
Yeah.
To me, that's good enough. But,
exactly.
You know, if you want to agonize over your mix, be my guest. I'm good with it.
Yeah, the mix sounds.
I'm on the other end. I like it kind of raw and messy, and you know, a little less polished. But over engineered in other ways, but I'm good with it, dude.
Well done. All right, Sean, he sent it.
Stud is
Sorry
a
for the
metal
shitty mix.
beatboxer now.
Might need to turn it up. Hope all the lads are doing good. Happy Friday.
Well,
Good to
it's
see you.
good to hear from you, lad.
For Who I Am, demo of Rough Mix 1.
I threw a coin in a wishing well. They bottled you up so well. If you were real, I never could tell. With hips like an hourglass, oh, I know this won't last. Now the time just slips away. 'Cause you see for who I threw a coin in a wishing well. They bottled you up so well. If you were real, I never could tell. With your neck covered in flowers, minutes seem like hours since you went away. 'Cause you've seen for I threw a coin in a wishing well, bottled you up to sell. Secrets, darling, hope you don't tell. With your tongue on the lock and key, it's like you never knew me since you went away. 'Cause you've seen
Sean.
I'm biased. I'm always so biased when I listen to his stuff.
I'm interested to know your deep cut on this, Andrew.
You mean Blind Melon meets Massive Attack?
Yes. There's one other name I will throw into that hat. It's a it's not a dominant theme, but I think there's also some, is it Segura Rios or Segura Ross? You know, the Vanilla Sky soundtrack, folks?
Sugar
Sh-
Rios is
Sugar-
what they all called it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not sugar.
No, it's like Segura Rios. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
That, I get a little undertone of that in there as
Oh,
well.
100%. It's definitely like, it's an indie movie where there's like a montage of people driving around and they're strung out or something's wrong and the problem hasn't been solved yet. And this is like all culminating to a big climax in the movie. That's exactly what this is. It is impeccable.
The band I hate? No. Dude, the Vanilla Sky soundtrack? Yeah, I've got ideas for this, Sean. Like,
Yeah, the
even
one the one thing that I would do is that once the drums kind of kick in a little more, I would go halftime. Boom.
yeah,
Yeah.
Make it
A couple of things I was hearing here. So I don't think it really has a chorus, but the things I liked about it is it reminds me of like those montages you get at the end of like The Walking Dead or something. And like this is the kind of track that would play on something like that. Kind of melancholy, starts off kind of just the one guitar and the vocal, and then it starts to build up. And I would say, yeah, go halftime, go easy on the drums, keep a good beat. You want to keep that melancholia vibe to it. I didn't like the ending. It's just not, that's not doing it for me. That's not the ending I would have on this. And I would write another part for like a actual solo, because you're building up to this thing and then what, it doesn't really crescendo, it doesn't climax. And I want to hear something that really takes it to that next level. And maybe, take that for what it is. It's just when I'm responding to, from an ethereal primal instinct, but like everything else there is really good. But yeah, it needs a lot of work. Just to really dial it in and to get those moments to really not only hit, but also go into the next moment. Right. And I'm not saying you need a chorus like, because the chorus you have there is good as it builds up and transitions, but it just doesn't get into like something that's really like big. And that's really what this song needs. There needs to be like a bigness to, to like kind of climax the whole song. Just my 2 cents. Sounds really good. Obviously not mixed or anything like that. So super demo phase, but really cool composition, Sean.
yeah,
And with the right sauce, it would really stick.
yeah. For me, like what I'd like to hear that produced a little bit more. Like I think you could do so many things with this. You could do the kind of stripped down version like you have. Then you'd have also like a produced version where like you have some weird like almost I don't want to say EDM effects on your vocals, but like some of those delays like the Sigur Rios do on certain key parts that kind of trail off into the distance. Obviously have like the drums remind me of the Massive Attack on this.
100%.
Yeah. And if you had drum sounds that were more reminiscent of that, like you can lean into that a little bit.
Yeah.
And just kind of balance things out. And instead of having the stripped down, like kind of the dominant left guitar, have it more stereo spread like throughout. There's a lot of possibilities for this, man. And it's awesome. I love it. I do love it. It's awesome. Yeah, Sean, let us know if you want to send over stems or anything like that. Happy to help you out. Sarush said he may or may not make it for the stream tonight, but here's another track he wrote for a prompt that was an image. He said he went for a fantasy RPG vibe. Let's see what this is.
All right. Hey, I got to bounce. I'll be right back.
All right. right, Sarush. So here are my thoughts. Everything in this sounded great, and I loved all the parts that are in this. I think my disconnect is that, like, to me, that sounds more like the image that pops in my head is more like traditional, like Renfest kind of castle.
It's the wizard. Hello, we
like-
have the wizard. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, like this picture to me is a little bit more foreboding, and like there's uncertainty to it and less happy vibe to it, I guess. So I'm kind of conflicted in my head of like what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. But what I'm hearing sounds great. But I just feel a disconnect between what's going on in the picture. But that's all subjective, right? That's all open to interpretation. So I don't know. Chuck,
yeah,
your
no,
thoughts?
I mean, it's got a nerdy vibe. Definitely Renfest, low budget Renfest. It just if you're gonna do classical guitar type stuff, Sarush, you gotta really make it go. You know, you've gotta really put a little bit more into it. I like the medieval vibe of it, you know, so it's definitely got that, you know, definite mud hut, thatch roof cottage vibe, and I like that too. But yeah, it was just something about it. There was some conflicting, like whatever you were playing on the guitar was just conflicting with some of the other happier elements. And I if you're gonna do a happy song, then go all in and do a happy song. Like make it joyful, you know.
That was joyful though.
It was
like the
joyful,
overall
but-
theme was very joyful.
Yeah, it was a joyful theme, but I mean it wasn't like it kind of felt like Etsy ish, you know. And we've heard other stuff from Sarush that is not so Etsy-ish. It's actually, so that's why I'm kind of like, you see where I'm going with this, right? Like I think if you're gonna do that classical guitar, like I was kind of waiting for that thing to like, we're gonna change a key or are we gonna go into different stuff, and it was just kind of like pluck pluck pluck, you know, kind of just holding it down in the back. So yeah, that's just my vibe on it. What exact feedback did he want? He went for fantasy RPG vibe. Well, then there you go. Yeah, you achieved that. It was fantasy RPG vibe.
Let's check this out. Kanako, what does he say in here? Described it as an alternative rock song, and is it any good is the feedback from the forum. Let's see.
Stress. But besides, like, all this sad shit, keep your fucking head up, bro. At the end of the day, bro, you matter. And don't let nobody else
tell you what you can and you cannot do. If you want to make music, do that shit. If you want to be an influencer, fucking be a streamer, do that shit. Nobody is stopping you but yourself. If you feed into that hating shit, it's just gonna put you down. You need to keep your fucking head up because you are strong. And I believe in you and I love you. Whoever's listening to this, I love you and I believe you will get through whatever you're getting through. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. People tell you they hate you. You're fucking worthless. But fuck all of that. You matter. Because at the end of the day, the true thing that really matters is family and yourself. Don't give up. I believe you. Keep it. I don't want to lose my mind. I ain't for myself in a long time. Every day I'm just getting high. Just to feel alright. Just to have a good time. I ain't made a sad song in a long time. But these sad songs help me clear up my mind. What you gonna do when I stop picking up my line? And I'm laying dead in a hotel bed. All these tears that I shed, all this blood that I bled, didn't make a difference. Did you even care? Watching my memories turn into a glare. My heart in a snare, falling in a bottomless pit of despair. Laying here dead in a hotel room bed with a knife in my chest from the self-inflicted stress.
All right. Sean said it best. He went full Tony Robbins in the middle. Like in the song parts, he's not in the pocket. He's ahead of it. And to me, that says it's too slow. Like your delivery on it, if you're consistently coming in ahead of the beat, then that's a sign you need to speed it up a little bit. So,
Or it's a sign that you have poor timing.
one of the two.
Everywhere.
I was gonna say I spend enough time on Ghost House to know that this is probably mid tier
Yeah.
very
as
mid.
far as this goes.
Yeah. So
Shout out Ghost House and Rich.
there you go.
Shout out Ghost House. I think guys get bored and they want to experiment a little bit. But the other thing is that I like it's more than just. I didn't mean to. What I didn't mean to do is present it so simplistically. Like
No, but it's a relevant point because if you're in a
Yeah.
band and that's your main source of income, you've got to. There's all these other things. You can't just be a songwriter. Like Kirk Hammett, I'm going to use this analogy. He can't just like go like Jason Newsted just couldn't go do his whatever what was his Echo Brain deal. He had to quit Metallica to go write other music. Like you are dialed into that thing, and whatever that thing becomes, like that's what it is.
just to button this up, I think that it's really tough. I give my favorite bands a really hard time for not writing another Color in the Shape or a Songs for the Deaf type of record. And I've noticed, like, even writing my new Transylvania Stud record, like I don't know if I have another White Witch in me. And White Witch, it's like 1,000 people heard it. Like, it's not like it was a hit. It didn't traject me into like a song that lives on forever.
Yeah.
And like that's the hardest I've ever tried to write a song. And I don't think that I love all the new songs I'm doing because I'm doing a bunch of them with friends. I'm doing stuff with like John Lancaster and hell, I'm doing a song with Juicebox. Like, I'm doing a song with a bunch of different people on this new T-Stud record. And like, I'm like, now I understand, like, what if this isn't as good as the last one? And the last one wasn't like groundbreaking or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not selling millions of copies of records, but now I think now I understand. It's like, you can't always write a No One Knows. You can't always write an Everlong. You get maybe 5 songs that live forever, and everything else is going to be filler, boys. And you'll have some hardcore fans that love everything you've ever done, but for the most part, songs that live on forever, it's hard. You got maybe 5 in your tops if you're at top. It's
called the one-hit wonder for a reason, and there's a ton of them.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Abomination's the first song I ever finished, and I was like, Oh, this one might actually be a hit.
Ah,
And I think it's because it's so insanely different than anything that I've ever done that I would have never thought to write or do anything. And by the math adds up, because that tends to be what ends up happening for people, is that this song wasn't supposed to make the record. We weren't sure about this one. We don't know if this one was going to work. And then that is the one. And I don't think we're going to sell 1 million records. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that every once in a while, and I think everybody gets like 5 songs total. They get 5 songs that they write that could potentially live on forever. And then on top of that, enough luck and a little elbow grease, and maybe on the wings of maybe,
yeah.
something comes of it.
Wings of luck.
I agree with you on Abomination. I know we're approaching the 2-hour mark here. I do have, not to switch gears here, but the results are in, and the Produce Like a Pro Leon K contest. Not even an honorable mention.
Oh,
So,
no.
What?
There we go.
Which one did she pick?
Share it. I want to see.
I'll post a link in the Discord, but it's
Share it on the screen. Let's look.
no, they go through there's 5 or 6 honorable mentions, and it's
You didn't even get an honorable mention.
no, dude. I think probably what it was is that mine was a build, right? Let's see here. This was the first honorable mention.
What?
Wait a minute.
That got an honorable mention.
No.
This got
Kill
an
it with
honorable
fire.
mention.
Also, like a bad hip hop version of yours. Was she not bummed out at all that people over auto-tuned her at all?
I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah, mini
Nope.
wagon.
But you keep on thinking. You'll see. Scream it out. Tell them all your pain.
Oh, cool.
Stick around.
Cool. Like
'cause
singing
everything
reggae.
will change.
What?
Searching for your soul and piecing back the pieces that you thrown away for far too long. Swearing out the heart on your sleeve, a hole in your chest makes it harder.
These are all objectively bad. Who is listening to this?
Them, apparently.
If they try to dim your light, it won't show, 'cause you'll just glow.
So just a less gnarly version of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand out, let the people stay. Just makes it harder to breathe, but don't add.
Oh my God, those drums are so terribly programmed.
Just start by stopping this pain, so nothing's gonna knock you.
No drummer would play that. No drummer would play that.
Hold on, 'cause you're not done. Stand out, let the people stare. Wear a crown with your colored hair. They're all cheap to
All right, pause for a second. Pause for a second. If this is third place, none of you watching this stream should listen to a thing that we say,
Right.
because people who are professionals think that this is good.
That's the problem with the music industry right now.
Oh my
That's
God.
the problem. That's the freaking problem with this
Okay,
stupid
anyway.
freaking business.
But play second place.
Second
Go
place.
You'll see.
Oh,
a Twitch song?
yeah. I mean, I can stand behind that more than any of the other ones that I heard. Because it's at least...
Okay. I'm getting physically ill.
Yeah. Here. This is first.
Japanimation music? Okay.
Like, I can... First and second place, okay. Everything else, I'm like,
Now listen, I know a lot of people are going to watch this and be like, you're biased because Eric's your friend. This is objective, okay? This is objective.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no one that he just played that paid any attention to all of the things that we talk about, which is dynamics, purpose in your movements, making sure the chorus is clear and builds every single time the chorus hits until the final chorus takes you home.
Yeah.
None of this does this. Now, either we're dumb, which mind you, totally possible. None of us have written a hit. Okay. However, there is absolutely no reason that any of these should have been, all of these should have been honorable mention on a Twitch stream, not in real life. There are professionals helping this chick. And I guarantee you that third, second, and first place all have massive social media followings. And that is why they were chosen the way that.
Let's talk about that. It's not
Dude,
about anything
we got a
other
minute.
than, here's the thing that Andrew Southward says. Okay. Music is inherently worthless. What matters is whether or not people like you.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to give you some credit for a second. Lars was right. And he knew that Napster was going to make all of our music worthless.
Worthless. Yep.
Keep that in mind, kids.
Yep. That's exactly.
You see how the chorus moves? This is the payoff. The last chorus pays off.
That reverb, how that reverb kind of lingers right up to the chorus.
yeah, I just don't get it. Maybe it was too much of a slow burn for her.
You know what it was? The third place did what I wanted to hear in your track, which was they used one of the waves. I could hear it, but they harmonized that vocal. And then they got rid of it right when the other harmonies came in. So I can understand that third place because that vocal does pop with some of the more harmonic vocal.
Yeah, but the rest of the production was garbage.
Beyond that, it has not like Stud hit it on the head. This is, if that's true, if all of those entries have large social media followings, that should be a lesson to everybody. That doesn't matter how great your music or how bad your music is. If you're popular, guess what? They're going to your music's going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
For Christ's sake. I mean, we had bands like Good Charlotte like sold millions of records and toured all around, and they were an objectively awful band. And I will die on that hill. I will die right here on this hill. You can crucify me on that cross.
None of those songs are unlistenable. I want to be clear about this. None of those songs are unlistenable.
No,
they all have a standard production tenant, with exception of those honorable mentions with clearly poorly produced drums, and maybe I think number 2 in there that I'm out on.
But it is what it is. And on the spirit of that,
her career, because I mean, like at the end of the day, and again, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we should let Eric have the final word because this is his deal.
This is his deal.
Yeah, I think for sure that if I think that the tenets of this contest in particular is a little misrepresented in terms of they were very clearly not looking for the best composition for that song that would make that song better than the original recordings, which was just an acoustic guitar and her voice. They were looking for people to push her out into the ether and get her face and her name and her voice into people's eyeballs and ears. And that was literally it. This was a very creative marketing campaign for this young lady. And she's okay. I mean, she's
I did
as
have to
okay
tune,
as I am.
I did have to do some heavy tuning on some spots.
Sure.
In her.
Well, as we all know, Eric, I'm sure that you have to do that to me too. I cannot. I can no longer, because there's literally no one who doesn't tune my voice.
But I do far less tuning on yours than a lot of others. So
Well, that's sweet of you, baby doll. I appreciate that.
I got you. In any case, I feel like we should go out on something angry. So
Yes.
I'm gonna load up an unreleased North and Never track.
Hey,
Oh, nice.
there we go.
And in any case, happy Friday, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this week's episode. You can join us live every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.